Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for another wrestling review. We are going back to Japan. This time it is Wrestling Dontaku 2023, based on the Dontaku festival that happens every year in Fukuoka, Japan. So, it was another wrestling pay-per-view in Japan. This one felt a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was different. I was not used to, let's just say there were a lot of short matches.
But the pay-per-view was relatively long.
Yeah.
I think it was like
some of the,
four.
it was over 4 hours. And they didn't show the entire pay-per-view either.
They didn't?
No, there was a dark match that they had before the pay-per-view started, which was the Young Lion Hat Trick Match Challenge, whatever it was called. Even though it was called a Hat Trick Challenge, they had 4 wrestlers. Makes no sense. But yeah, I mean, it was another show. This, like you said, this felt more like a setup show. But let's get right into it. So the match that they did not air, because we both watched it on New Japan World, the match that they did not air was Oscar Lube defeating Roy Oiwa, Yuto Nakashima, and our boy Boltin Oleg.
Yeah, he specializes in those dark matches.
Yeah. So that was a match that did not air. Lube went over in like 2.5 minutes.
I mean, his name is Lube, so
yeah, he lubed up the crowd for the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
So with our first match, we have Chaos of Toriyano, Yo, and Bishamon, Goto, and Yoshihashi against the House of Torture, Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, Sho, and our boy Dick to Go.
Dick to Go. So basically, this match was just House of Torture versus Bishamon because I don't know what the other two were there for. They kind of got kicked to the outside and they just stayed there for the whole match.
Yeah, pretty much. There wasn't much. Usually Toriano has a lot more to do. He's more comedic. He's more. This just it was more Bishamon versus it was Evil and was it Takahashi?
Yeah, they're trying to set up some kind of weird feud.
House of Torture needs to go. I'm done with them.
I mean, they just really need to let Evil's contract expire. Let him go to WWE to be with his wife, and then figure out. Isn't he married to Asuka? I'm pretty sure.
No.
Or not Asuka, Io Sky.
Is he really? I would have never guessed that. Okay, then.
Did you check it?
I'm looking at it right now. But yeah, keep talking about the match. Yeah, he's married to Io Sky.
Yeah. So let him go to WWE. I don't know why I said Asuka.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. And get rid of Dick to Go. We don't need him. He can go back to WWE too. He's already been there, so he knows what it's like.
Been there a couple times.
And figure out what you're gonna do. I mean, you could just keep Takahashi in Bullet Club because he's one of the original Bullet Club members.
Yeah.
And he's the first addition they made.
Yeah, he was actually.
And Sho is good. Sho is a good wrestler.
Yeah, I feel like Sho and Yo are not getting Yo a little bit more now, but Sho really does not get showcased enough.
Because he made the awkward leap to the heavyweight division, and he doesn't fit in there.
He kind of fizzled out, yeah. But I mean, it was under 4 minutes. This match was fast.
Yeah, it was fine. Like most, you're gonna hear me say that a lot today.
Yeah, it like the funny thing though too was at this point they also stole the belts from Aussie Open a couple nights earlier, so they have the IWGP heavyweight belts
and the strong belts. And what you don't realize at the end of this is that they left with the strong belts still, so they only got the IWGP belts back.
No, Aussie Open had them both.
Did they? Because I saw when you see them walking up the stage, they still had the other titles.
No, Aussie Open has them all.
Okay.
Yeah, they got them all back, which leads right in. Chaos goes over. And then right away, United Empire come in, Aussie Open and Great O'Khan. They come in, they clear house, they take their belts back.
And then they get into a match immediately.
Yeah, against TMDK.
Mikey Nichols, So, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Mikey Nichols, Shane Haston, and Kosei Fujita.
So we just found out that Kosei Fujita is now a member of TMDK with One thing that happened tonight out of a couple that I made a call about, and we got it. Another member in TMDK, and
I mean, he was always there, but now it's official.
But now it's official.
Yeah.
And it's because we don't get weekly New Japan. So when these things happen, we don't know about it until a big event happens where they showcase that. And there's a lot of small news like that today, things that happen that's what makes this event.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff for this happened on the road to Dontaku. Like,
and there's a lot of storytelling. That's what this thing was.
There's a lot of setups. Another quick match, like 5.5 minutes. Like, we're just moving along here. But for some reason, yeah, it was fine. It was a match. Then after the match, they set up, I think it's a 3-way match, didn't they? Against Bishamon, House of Torture, and them for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, we know what's going to happen. So
they're going to absolutely destroy. But this match, Great Khan absolutely destroyed Fujita.
Yeah.
Like, he broke, like, it looked like he folded him in half.
That's, what you get
for messing with the Khan. So after that, there was no fanfare, no nothing. They just automatically went into the show. Usually there's like a little break where they show, what led up to it or whatever. No, they just went into the show with the first match of the show, which was Shota Umino and your new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the Jet Setters of Kushida and Kevin Knight. Tweeted out a picture of Kevin Knight and Kushida the other day, and I got the like from Kevin Knight on that one.
Kevin Knight. Good guy.
Yes. And United Empire against United Empire of Aaron Hanare and Catch 22. This was, I'm guessing, to set up a rematch. Basically,
yeah, it was fine. I mean, it was what it was.
Yeah, but I'll say this though, and I'm not saying because he liked my photo. It's Kevin Knight has improved out of all those.
Big time. He's the best out of the dojo guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say the LA dojo guys. He's come the furthest, even though Clark Connors is at a further along point.
He's not a better wrestler.
No, Kevin Knight is the better wrestler. Kevin Knight can do high flying, but he can also do technical. He can also do, and with the leadership of Kushida, I think he's going to do well. I think we may see a good showing from Kevin Knight in the best of the Super Juniors.
Okay, in fairness, Clark Connors was not in the group called LA Dojo.
LA Dojo, no.
Who in the American wrestling scene was being pushed by what the hell's his name? QTV guy. QT Marshall was the one pushing the LA Dojo guys at the beginning on AEW and Impact, whatever. But yeah.
Shota Umino and the Jet Setters go over, I guess, showing their dominance. They did make an interesting point here that Catch 22 have been one of the longest reigning IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champions. And looking into it, they were their champs for almost a year. So that's a good run, and it really sets Francesco Akira, because he's obviously the younger of the two. TJP is getting close to 40, so
I mean, he looks younger though.
Yeah, I mean,
he literally doesn't age.
Yeah, TJP has looked the same for 20 years, but it's a good setup for Francesco Akira to move forward, to move into the junior heavyweight division as well. I think this is, like you said, it's long-term storytelling for two of these guys in the match. And obviously they're setting up Aaron Hanare to be the next big star as well. Next we have, again, another short match, 6.5 minutes. Like this show.
Like I'm saying, how was the show over 4 hours?
Yeah. Entrances took a long time.
I mean, yeah, well, whenever Naito comes in, we're looking at 15 minutes.
Easy. Because speaking of which, next was the Just Five Guys match of Taichi, Kanemaru, and Dookie against LIJ, Naito, Shingo, and Bushi.
The Doki Choki.
The Doki Choki. Kevin Kelly's really trying to get the Doki Choki over with that one.
He wants the shirts. Hey, Taka, put it on the shirts. Doki Choki.
Doki Choki. The thing is, they made mention of the fact, too, that Shingo lost the KOPW provisional belt to Taichi.
Which we also didn't know.
Yeah. If you're not watching those build-up shows,
we missed a few things.
Yeah.
And this was like honestly like a good catch up on a lot of things. And I think, like I said, from storytelling aspect as a whole, this pay-per-view is completely worth watching.
Oh yeah, for sure. It is, as a storytelling. It also made me go back and watch those matches. Like, for example, it made me go back and watch the junior heavyweight match. It made me go back and watch the Taichi versus Shingo match, which was a good main event. Like, I mean, they needed main events on those road to shows, so it made sense.
It's so weird to me. Sorry.
It's okay.
I digress. It's so weird to me that the KOPW, the way they play it, is whoever has it at the end of the year is the KOPW of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
But listen, every time someone wins the belt, they become the KOPW for that moment, which is the same thing as someone winning a belt. So I don't understand the logic of the year.
The only thing is that's a belt that gets reset at the end of the year.
Yes, I understand that it gets reset, but the thing is, they're still passing the belt, right? So by Taichi winning it, he is now that champion. Yes. I understand that technically on his record, it won't show that until the year ends, who was King of Pro Wrestling, but for the time being, he's holding a belt.
It would be like the IC championship being changed hands, and then at the end of the year, if Gunther still has it, then he's the Intercontinental Champion of the year.
But the way that they talk about it is like as if, oh, don't worry about whoever wins it now. No, it does kind of matter who has it now, because you're trying to throw clout at Taichi by doing this, and he's deserving of some. We talked about this. It's about time. And I do think they're planning some kind of storyline here where all the belts are getting stripped from LIJ, because there's no way Takahashi is holding that belt for much longer. There's no way.
But who is the next challenger, though? Kanemaru? Do you think they could put the belts?
I think it's going to be like Wato or maybe Ishimori again, because he's been off TV for he hasn't been relevant for a little bit.
That's true. Like, I could see them doing a story where they're putting all the singles belts on.
Maybe you have Yo win. Maybe you have Kushida win and you drop the belts to Leo Rush and Yo, the tag belts. Yeah. He wins the actual junior.
Yeah, that could work. But again, LIJ goes over in a really short match again. Like Bushi
but this has ramifications.
Yeah, Bushi got manhandled in this match.
Yeah. I think he was there to take the beating.
Yeah. I mean, really, those were really the only three guys from LIJ that you have right now, because the other one was in a co-main event kind of thing. No, he wasn't.
Or is it?
True. Stay tuned for the show. So just 5 guys over. It's telling the story that LIJ can't seem to beat these guys. What started out as kind of a joke faction has turned into actually something serious and formidable in New Japan. So I kind of really like the storytelling they're doing with 5 guys. I was
saying that, and you know what? I don't remember if it was you, so I'm not going to throw you under the bus. But somebody for sure was arguing with me that was a really bad idea to make the 5 guys faction. It's even before the Sonata. So, and then they got Sonata. Now they're like the most relevant faction in all of New Japan. But I'll just say it was you. I don't remember.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the blame.
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah. But Taichi taps out Bushi, and Bushi took the loss on this one, telling the story of, LIJ can't seem to get a win. And again, another short match is 7 minutes, but for some reason we're 2.5 hours into the show.
Yeah.
With an hour's worth of matches.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it made no sense. Next, you have the singles match for the Strong Openweight Championship. Kenta, your defending champion, against Hikuleo.
I did not expect this match to go the way that it did.
No. Before the match even started, Hikuleo knocks out Kenta. And that's the story they were telling throughout the match. Hikuleo's like, you can't win unless you cheat to win, but he's like, I've had more title defenses than anybody since becoming champion. So it was good storytelling, but in the end, Hikuleo goes over. And I kind of didn't like the way it ended with the ref bump. They had to bring in a second referee.
I think it's because there's a resurgence. There's a rematch.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to make Kenta look weak. I mean, yeah, it's fine. I think Hikuleo deserved his shot, and I think they do want him to be a major face of that brand.
Yeah, especially in New Japan Strong. Like they're saying, oh, this is a guy that like started his career here and now he's a champion kind of thing. And
yeah, and I mean, Kenta's great.
yeah.
And you're gonna help Hikuleo get over by having matches with Kenta. So, I mean, that is what that is. It's fine. It's awkward because he's still really lumbering when he fights.
Yeah.
Like he's a little bit too big. Is still
Yeah.
in not in like
The almost kind of way.
not in too big like you're too big to wrestle. He's still wrestling though like I'm a big man, and he needs to have a little bit more depth than just that running boot, the
Kind of
standing
like his brother.
boots, a choke slam. Like he has no suplexes in his
No,
repertoire.
like I
He
said,
has
kind of like
yeah,
Omos,
yeah.
except he's a little better at running the
Well, he
ropes.
could be, right? He's not that big. He's like 6'9". It's not like
Yeah.
he's out of control tall. But
He does run
he
the ropes a little better.
yeah, he has movement, but that my point is for someone who has all that athleticism and flexibility for being a larger man, he
Right.
doesn't attempt to do anything except wrestle that Undertaker style, big boot, other big boot, slightly moving big boot.
Choke slam.
Yeah, choke slam. Uh
Irish whip.
Irish whip. Yeah, exactly. You get it. Okay. I don't need to
Clothesline.
go
Yeah, yeah.
there. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it really pushes Hikuleo forward at least. And
Yeah, it's good.
they're
It's
trying to build new stars like Kenta, like you said, we said in a previous podcast, he's over 40 now. And, maybe with all his injuries, maybe his career may be winding down a bit. So, but at least he got, a little bit another chance to shine with the New Japan Strong open
yeah, and
weight.
he had some really good matches.
Yeah, the Suzuki match and them. So who knows? Maybe he might win it back. Next we have Zack Sabre Jr. defending the NJPW Television Championship against Jeff Cobb. This was a rematch, correct?
I don't remember if they fought before,
No, but
but I do know that it was good.
yeah, I was surprised when they mentioned Jeff's Cobb was like something like 46-4 or something like that. And one of that loss was to Kenny Omega. But
He's a pretty good wrestler that flies under the radar.
yeah, I honestly thought this is where they were going to pull the switch as well.
I think that this is something they're trying to set up here. I won't be surprised if he does win the title. I think Zack Sabre Jr.'s had a great run. I
Yeah.
think this match was good. You really showed that Jeff Cobb can kick the crap out of Zack Sabre Jr.
Because he was matching like move for move.
Yeah. And
So
I think that's a good. I think Jeff Cobb deserves something at this point.
yeah.
And we've noticed that they're trying to push Jeff into his own lane. Like they're no longer the tag team. The tag team is now Hanare
And Khan.
and Khan.
But with Khan being the champion of the British now.
Yeah, and also you could tell they're trying to push Hanare into his own lane as well. So Khan is really over.
Yeah, he is. He is. We wouldn't say that. Like, it's funny how last year we were comparing, and as a tag team, we didn't really care for them much. But now as singles competitors, we're kind of growing on them more.
Well, their match when they won the title, I actually went back and watched it. So we were justified. It was not very good. And then they had a really bad match against FTR. And then they had another really bad match with the 4-way tag team match where they
Yes.
lost the titles
Against the Best Friends, and was it the Best Friends?
It was
Yeah.
Best Friends, FTR, and the Bucks.
Was it the Bucks?
There was 4 teams, right?
Yeah. I think it was just 3. It was a 3-way.
It wasn't the Best
Romero.
Friends. It was Romero and Trent Beretta.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were there to take the
There was
pin.
one other AEW team, I'm pretty sure.
No, I think it was just the 3. It was a 3-way match because we knew right away they were there to take the pin.
Either way.
Yeah. I digress. But he took him to the time limit. Like, you could see at the end, Zach was just trying to run out the clock because he didn't want to lose because he knew he was close to losing. So I think this may lead to a stipulation match where maybe, hey, give me 20 minutes instead of 15 and I can beat you.
Yeah. He's going to win. I don't think Zack Sabre Jr. is not long for this title. It's going to come off his waist.
Yeah, they want to put the title, the first winner, they want it with someone with some name value to it. So this way, the first champion is always like, for example, like with Zack Sabre Jr., he'll always now be the first champion, right? Nobody's going to ever take that away from you. I think
Zack Sabre Jr. is going to get moved into the trios division. I think probably with
Haste and
what's his name? Yeah,
and Nichols there.
Yeah,
makes sense.
And I think they would be a good match for the team that ends up winning. I don't know, maybe
unless they do Zach and because Haste and Nichols are in that tag thing now. Unless they do Zach
with 3 other guys, right? Zach, Robbie Eagles.
There's Fujita.
Yeah, well, actually, there's another guy too. What's the other guy's name?
Bad Dude Tito. Yeah. So I could see them moving with that instead and keeping Nichols and Haste as their own tag team.
I mean, say Zack Sabre Jr., Robbie Eagles, and Bad Dude Tito is not a bad lineup because Bad Dude Tito is like your big guy.
Yeah.
And then Eagles is a freaking amazing.
Yeah. So that could work. I could see that working. But and this was a really good match. But then again, this one went the time limit. And so far, this is the longest match at 15 minutes. We are now 3 hours into the show.
This match actually felt long. And I think it's because how short all of the other matches were.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I kept looking at my phone. I was like, this match is still going?
Yeah.
I know it has a time limit.
I could hear the announcer in Japanese saying, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, like at the intervals. So, but Zack Sabre retains. I think, like you said, something's happening here that Jeff Cobb is going to get this belt.
Yeah, and just a small note, we have not seen Abe-san get knocked off his chair in a long time.
Yes, it was fun to see that again.
So, like, it's been a while. It's time for you to go flying.
Yes. And like you said, this was so far the longest match, and it felt like it because all the matches have been under 10 minutes so far. Next we get Strong Style defending their openweight 6-man tag team championships, Minoru Suzuki, El Desperado, and Ren Narita against Okada, Ishii, and Tanahashi. I was surprised that they put Ishii in, but then again, Ishii is a member of Chaos.
But it's like how I was saying how you would do it if you were TMDK. Mm-hmm. You need to have that like power guy. Whenever you see a trios team, there's always that one guy. Like, it would be Evil, I guess, for House of Torture. And on the other team, I mean, it's Suzuki, I guess.
Yeah, he's the because you got the technical, you got the high flyer, and you got the strong guy.
The other two could be anything, but you need one guy that's like either like a hardcore match guy or like a big strong guy. Yeah.
Yeah. This was a good match, though. I like this match.
Yeah, this was pretty good. I'm very. I don't want to use the word impressed, but I'm proud of the fact that Okada is looking for more in his career. He wants to be remembered for more than just being that guy that only wins that one title. And but at the same time,
in case you guys have figured it out, the Okada, Ishii, and Tanahashi go over.
Yeah, and it's like, did Tanahashi really need another title? No, he did not.
No, but they did play big into the fact that they said this is Okada's first championship that is not a singles championship.
Well, yes, it's not a singles championship. It's his first championship that's not the IWGP Heavyweight title.
Right.
He's never won anything in any
He's never
company
won
ever.
No, he's never won the U.S. championship. That's right.
I mean, I guess you can count the G1s, but digressing. Good for him.
Yeah.
Tanahashi does not need this. But who cares? You're just padding his stats. Ishii, this doesn't help him really because he's not like he's gonna not be remembered as a really legendary caliber wrestler, but
Yeah.
his career is not in the level of folklore where winning more trios titles is gonna help you get any further, right?
Do you think it's transitional because they announced for Resurgence now it's going to be Moxley, Yuta, and was it Umino?
I know. I think that this is going to start a feud, and I think it's that those specific wrestlers are going to carry over to Forbidden Door, where then maybe they win the title.
Okay.
Because they did strip Yuta of his title. Moxley does not have a title.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Danielson is not going to have a title. They're not looking for that.
Yeah, but
and
Umino could
Claudio,
use some shine.
Yeah, and Claudio has a title. Umino can use the shine, and it gets him over in the States, which is helpful.
He calls on the help of his mentor, right? Kind of thing.
I can see that. I can see that starting a feud, and that's a smart way to go because right now, as far as AEW versus New Japan, you don't really have anyone to go against Okada. Ishii doesn't matter at this point for that. And I don't want to see any singles matches with Tanahashi. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really over it lately. It's always the same match.
But the thing is with Tanahashi, he could still go, but you can mask what he can't do a little bit more in the tag.
And also, there's nobody that we need to see fight him one-on-one. Do you know what I mean? So adding that match would just feel like, oh, really? And I'd rather see this. I'd rather see this trios match. Let them go
because I think at Forbidden Door, we're finally going to get Danielson versus Zack.
Which, very happy. Thank you. I'll take that.
Well, I mean, that was supposed to happen last year. Remember?
Mind you, I would love me do to see Okada versus Kenny Omega 5. But
most likely it's going to be Will Ospreay.
They have to finish off their matches. I believe they're gonna have a match at Dontaku. Wait, what's the one we just watched? Dontaku. What's the next one?
There's Resurgence where it's going to be Tanahashi. No, that's Tanahashi versus Ospreay.
What's the next big one?
It's Dominion.
At Dominion, we're gonna get Ospreay versus Omega 2.
No, we're not. Dominion, we're getting the winner of Ospreay and Tanahashi versus Lance Archer.
Okay, so then it's gonna be at Forbidden Door.
Exactly. That's why they're kind of protecting him until.
Listen, just whatever happens, Kenny Omega, Wrestle Kingdom versus Okada. Make it an insane match that goes all 60 minutes that ends in a draw. That's what I want. Anyways,
with that.
We've gone way too far off.
We've gone way off topic. Like I said, Okada, Ishii, and Tanahashi defeat Strong Style. Next, now we're getting a little longer in the matches. This one went almost 20 minutes. Next we got David Finlay versus Tama Tonga for the Never Openweight Championship. And go ahead. What were we gonna say?
It was not the match I wanted.
No,
it was still good. It was a good match, but it was not the match I wanted. For some reason, I thought this was going to be a really good match.
I didn't think Tonga could go for 25 minutes, and clearly he couldn't.
Yeah, fair.
Because he was really dominant for the first maybe 10 minutes, but for the rest of the match, it was all Finlay.
And I enjoyed
Finlay
that.
Absolutely the first half destroyed him.
The first half with all the whipping into the barricades and stuff was really entertaining, and then it just kind of dragged for a bit, and it came back right at the end where it was started getting a good match.
Tonga started kicking out of the near falls.
They had to get to the finish, right?
Yeah.
Bloody Sunday, and he dropped a few other people's moves.
Yeah.
But
Finlay, new champ.
Yeah, Finlay, new champ. Good for him. You knew this. You called this. You called Finlay openweight. It helps put him over, especially against Tonga.
Yeah.
I think, but this might be a sign of the times that Tonga's getting ready to ship out.
You think so?
It's possible.
With Hikuleo as champ?
I do
because I think they're going to go as a team, a package team, right?
I think that him and Tongaloa are going to go as a package team to WWE. And Hikuleo is going to be held as like one of the future things, and they'll keep him with Jado.
Yeah.
Jado
that
and
makes
Gato
sense.
do like most of the booking.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. But once again, I posted on Instagram a photo and liked by David Finlay. So thank you, David Finlay.
You know, we're big David Finlay fans over here since the G1 tournament. So
yeah. And I said, and even since the G1, I've been saying Finlay needs something. Finlay needs something. They got to push him. And
I called for hire. You said no, it's going to be the open weight, and you were right. And it's a smart way to start.
And it also now, because after this match, we get the return of ELP. Babyface ELP. The dude looks shredded now.
And this is like, you would never talk to anybody ever and expect this to come out of anyone's mouth, but ELP is so over with the fans. It's mental.
It has a lot to do with every time he would come out, he'd interact, a little bit of interaction each time. And the fact that every time he tried to interact with the fans, Finlay denied him, and it just made him all that more popular.
He's, you know, I bought his hat.
Nice.
But yeah, we always liked him. And we liked him
Forbidden
before
Door last
the G1
year.
tournament. Yeah, we liked him before the G1 tournament. But the G1 tournament, we were like, oh, this guy has something.
Yeah, there's something there.
I'm curious to see what the plan is. Are they going to link him up with Bullet Club Gold? Because those are his buddies. He's very good friends with Juice Robinson.
And link it up with, like, he'll be the representative in Japan. I think this may set up a feud where they trade the belt back and forth a few times.
But I'm okay. ELP is very deserving of winning something.
Yeah. Like that's the issue right now. There's a lot of people that are deserving of belts, but it's limited to where they can go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And hey, this, like I said, if you're gonna watch this pay-per-view or whatever it was, this event, and you're not gonna get everything you wanted out of the matches, it's worth watching alone just for all these little elements that they're dropping in here.
Yeah,
finding out of the official new member of TMDK, seeing the title changes, seeing ELP come out, like
kind of looking like Logan Paul now.
Yeah, seeing where the stories are building to.
Yeah, and it was fun. I enjoyed that match, and I enjoyed seeing ELP again. Like I said, dude looks shredded. I'd like to see like a series of matches where the belt just goes back and forth every time they fight. The belt changes hands until finally that one, whoever it is, gets that double win in a row. So, but yeah, like I said, Finlay new champ. Now there's still an hour left on the show with one match. So we're wondering what the hell is going on.
Also, when this ends, this pay-per-view, usually it cuts off the English commentary and it just has the Japanese people. They talked all the way till the end.
Yeah.
I've never seen
that because Kevin
before.
Kelly ran out of things to say.
But it just kept going.
Yeah. He's like, what do I say now? Like, you can hear him, like, but I digress on this one. Next we head into our main event. Hiromu Takahashi challenging Sonata for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. Oh, we wanted this. We got this. It was a really good match.
Not in the category of match of the year.
I was gonna say, and it was a little bit too long. Like, it got to the point when I was like, we should have ended this already.
But there was 1-6 spot where Sonata's on the other side of the barricade and Tanahashi comes running and he does like this drop kick over the barricade right into.
And I'm very convinced that he hit the back of his head on the floor.
Probably.
He like whiplashed pretty hard back, but hey, that was a cool spot. And they mentioned this is like the Tanahashi or the Takahashi that we know.
Yeah.
That he hasn't really done this since he came back from the injury.
And he broke his neck. Yeah. And they were really playing into that. This was also like Sonata's real first challenge, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he did beat Okada.
But I mean, his first challenge defending
the belt? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to get another one.
Yeah. Absolutely he will, but this was fun. It's really, like I said, really good match. Like there's some really great high spots. There was some really great outside of the ring work. There was some great in-ring technical work as well. Um, the two styles meshed, their two styles meshed really well together. You said that Takahashi was going to get double belted on this one, but we get Sonata retaining.
Yeah, but I was saying that out of the fact that we couldn't seem to think NJPW as a company would go
Right.
any other way, because they seem like they're so hell bent on constantly giving him titles undeservedly.
Yeah. I mean,
Not
not
because he's not a
undeservedly.
bad wrestler, but he did not deserve that win.
No.
They just like his name brings clout, right? Come on, you're telling me Kushida deserves to have the light heavyweight tag team titles right
No.
now? He should be the champion in Impact.
Yeah.
This is they know that people are gonna pay to see Kushida with the titles. They know that people are gonna pay to see Takahashi.
But at least
Because
with Kushida with the title with a younger talent, it helps put that younger talent over.
yeah,
So that makes more sense. Takahashi as a double champ doesn't make any sense to
yeah,
me.
it doesn't, but it would be cloudish.
Yeah.
And we originally saw Sonata as a transitional champion, but we're starting to realize that's not the case.
no, they're really going all in with Sonata to the
Good.
point where we're probably going to see him defend the belt at Forbidden Door.
Great.
Who? I don't know, but wouldn't it be awesome for
It's
Naito?
if it's ooh, come on. Don't do this to me. I was gonna say Jay White, but you know what?
I'll take
Just
that.
I would take that too. Like when you think of
That
people,
could be that. You know what? That's a good idea because him winning the belt would be his way back in.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have when when they had the idea that he was gonna go to WWE, okay, we were like, oh, this is it. He's never, because they're not gonna let him go.
Yeah.
They're not letting him wrestle anywhere else. Where he was okay. He knew this. So I'm going to end my ties with New Japan, all of this nonsense. When he got signed to AEW, AEW now knows they have to find a way to weasel him back into
Back in.
Japan. So by doing this event where he's wrestling for AEW in America, he's not wrestling in New Japan or in Japan. So technically he can wrestle now, and you can make a stipulation where if he wins a match, he can come back.
What if they go up against Aussie Open, win the belts? Juice and
hey, why not? At this point,
there's so many possibilities.
I'm not gonna say no to anything.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a magical third member and they win the trios belts against Okada and those guys.
ELP maybe.
I mean, hey,
right? One can only dream.
Yeah, and but yeah, in the world of New Japan, I mean AEW. Yes, okay, there's Kenny Omega, but he's tied up in other things. So who's someone you look at in that company that would have enough ties to New Japan, but is also the caliber that belongs in their world heavyweight picture? A guy who's their only one of 2 Grand Slam champions ever in the company history. And no one can ever do it again because there is no more intercontinental champion.
Yeah.
So no one could ever do what it's him and Tanahashi, I think, are the only 2 people.
But yeah, but Sonata retains in a really good match, and then we finally get the reveal of the buildup of the vignettes that they've been showing over the last couple months. We get a returning Yota Tsuji.
And I don't think anyone knew who it was from the
US.
Not when he came out.
The crowd
when
popped.
he came out. I mean, the videos they've been teasing us with, I don't think anyone had any clue who it was going to be.
No, nobody knew it was going to be.
Like, there's no way that from those video packages, it's a T-Rex and a comet.
I thought it was Godzilla coming out, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like, there's no way you put 2 and 2 together and we're like, oh
Kaiju
yeah,
Groot.
it's him. The visual, the picture that I shared with you of him with the hood on in the darkness with that smile,
very Bray Wyatt,
is one of the best ever, I think, like photographs in wrestling. Like, he looks so menacing and evil in that picture. It's so good. And
then when he takes off he looks like Roman Reigns.
He's just too cute, I think. He took off the coat. But like in that moment, he knew it too. The crowd popped. He started smiling. He didn't want to smile. He was
But
trying to
this
keep
is
a
his
straight
return.
face.
This is his return from his excursion.
Yeah, and he looks
Because
amazing.
he did a couple years in Rev Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks very big.
Yeah. I think
Especially
if
in Japanese wrestler terms,
he's
he's
tall.
quite muscular and quite tall. He
He's
looks
yeah,
formidable.
he's 6 feet tall. That's huge for a Japanese wrestler.
Yeah, that's like where you start being a big guy, right? Like Okada.
Yeah.
That's like you're a tall guy now.
Yeah, and like I said, he kind of with the long hair, the goatee, kind of looks like Roman Reigns, and he comes in and he spears Okada. I'm like, okay, they got the Japanese Roman Reigns here now.
He's ready, and he looks like a tough guy that's going to be an issue, and he's in LIJ.
Yep, because
And
he does the little at the end.
and everyone popped for that. Kevin Kelly had no idea what was going on. I think he missed it.
Chris Carlton had to.
But yeah, I mean, well, thank you. You can thank me. I called it again.
Yeah, LIJ
LIJ was
gets a
going
new
to
member.
replace Sonata, and I think this is a good one. I think this changes the game.
Yeah,
There's a reason they saved this all the way for the end of the event. This is going to be a game changer. We have to see how he's going to work in the ring. But
now the thing is, if he can work well in the ring, and he doesn't beat Sonata, this reintroduction is all for naught.
I'm starting to think that it's going to be like a screw over where the five guys are trying to be like legit wrestlers, right? They're trying to get out of the LIJ ways of being sneaky.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to have to cheat to help him can retain, and it's going to cause like a weird thing to happen, and it's going to end up with Naito challenging Sonata for the title.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because I don't think you're going to give it to him. He's brand new. He just walked in the door. You're not giving him the title.
But then again, you run the risk of what happened with Umino too, right? With Umino, you haven't put anything on him yet,
but we know that's coming.
Yeah.
There's no way you're having a trios match against the two current living legends of New Japan and Ishii, and you're not attempting to put him over. And he's wrestling with John Moxley. Like this means something.
That's enough clout there, even if he doesn't win a belt.
I think this is what that's what it's playing at. Is that they're pushing him to the moon. And Ren Narita too, right? It's weird. You took the trios titles off Ren Narita. What do you do with him now?
Yeah. Does he move?
We're not going to sit here and pretend.
Because Ren Narita's not a junior. Ren Narita's not on the level for the U.S. championship, and
I think he's going to be in the G1 tournament, and they're going to give him a David Finlay / El Phantasmo push like last year, where it's just going to be like, oh wow, this guy's
do we
actually
maybe
really
go
good.
back to the Zack Sabre Jr. Ren Narita feud if they don't pull the trigger on Jeff Cobb?
Maybe you let Jeff Cobb win the title, and then you also just have him beat Zack Sabre Jr.
Finally.
And like just make it at a pay-per-view he faces Zack Sabre Jr. win. Zack Sabre Jr.'s reeling. He's lost 2 matches in a row. Oh no.
Yeah, that could work. That could work. So with that out of the way, what'd you rate this show?
7.5.
Very close to what I gave it. I gave it a 7.4.
I think it's an entertaining show. It has a lot of good storytelling. The second half of it is quality matches, but none of them are like match of the year matches.
Yeah, it's just like you said, like we were talking off camera, like we've been texting back and forth too, and we're saying like this felt weird. Almost a 5-hour show, 9 matches, but only like 4 of them were over 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, the last match was an hour.
If you count everything, yeah. And then again, you also had the 20 minutes after the fact too.
Exactly.
Because didn't he come out again when they were doing their post show?
I don't remember.
Like they were doing the press conference. I thought he came. I thought Suji came back for that.
I just had it on.
Yeah.
At that point,
I watched it really, really late too, that last match, so I was kind of falling asleep. But yeah. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Tune in tomorrow. Campo and I will be breaking down the WWE draft from last week. So we're going to be going through the draft picks. We're going to be talking about what this could mean for Raw. Not quite a state, but in a way, maybe a WWE state kind of thing. We're going to be talking about the draft. So tune in tomorrow for that. So with that out of the way, thanks again for joining us. Goodbye and good night.